What's up, Pierce?
Hey, can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Hey, yeah. So I guess I have a question on what is the I guess so. Not to just to be transparent, I'm Catholic, so what's the position on what is the Orthodox position on what's the goal for the alignment of the church and politics? Because I guess the criticisms I hear typically coming from your guys' end is that, obviously the temporal authority of obviously the Pope, namely, but it's like, what is the end goal? Do you want the Orthodox Church to have any influence over earthly politics at all? And what does that look like in an ideal end goal scenario?
So the traditional position is symphonia, where church and state work in harmony in their respective spheres. That's the normative position in the first 1,000 years of Christianity.
Okay, so I guess I'm trying to have trouble reconciling kind of what the if the say in the end goal there, it's I guess one of the criticisms is obviously one being the Pope having saying a standing army, and if obviously you could say say in another sphere, maybe an Orthodox bishop doesn't have a standing army, but he has significant influence in that symphonia over his
so there's two spheres, right? Bishops don't.
It's an extra step,
Bishops don't.
He still has an army.
Hush. So please just stop for a second.
Sorry,
it's okay.
my fault.
Maybe there's a delay. So the canons of Chalcedon forbid priests or clerics from being involved in civil service, right? So that's the point of two spheres. And the ancient traditional first 1,000 years of Christianity symbol of the imperium is a Byzantine double-headed eagle, right? One head of the eagle is church, the other head is state. So there's really no need for bishops to have standing armies. What you have is a Christian king or emperor and a Christian bishopric or church that works together in harmony, but they have respective spheres of influence. So there is no need for a super bishop with a standing army because you have a Christian king or ruler that handles the affairs of state.
Yes, I'm just saying it's in that perfect harmony. Isn't that basically having a standing army just with it's one step removed?
No, it's spheres of influence. There's limitations. The church doesn't involve itself in fighting battles and whatever. That's the state. So
yeah, sure. I guess there's one side of it where I see obviously the church is the head of the moral authority. But at the same time, it's not just the spiritual world, it's the physical, and there's obviously physical threats. And if you're in that position of power where the church is held in high reverence and it's very, very involved in the politics of the locations it's in, I guess at some point you're gonna have to get involved with physical force because you got to protect your people at that point.
Again, I don't understand the question because that's what the monarch does. That's his job. So I don't understand your question or your projection. You understand the critique of the temporal supremacy of the Pope is that he violated the canons. And it's based on made-up fraudulent documents like the donation of Constantine.
Again, that okay. I guess the question was more. Again, I'll look at Again, I can look more into Chalcedon. I understand that, but again, I guess I just don't. You're saying they can't be a civil servant. I get the obviously
what? Who can't? What are you talking about?
So you're saying that a bishop can't be a civil servant.
A bishop is not a servant of the state. He's not a warrior.
Correct.
He's not a magistrate.
Well, right.
What's unclear about that?
Yeah,
They have respective spheres. SPHERES spheres.
Okay.
Do you not? You don't.
I understand. So it's basically a bishop cannot have his own army, but if he has his king that they're working together have it, then it's okay.
I mean, are you not aware of the way the church operated in the first 1,000 years? I'm not being an asshole. It's an honest question.
No. I mean, I understand. Again, I guess, well, maybe I don't understand. I'm just
So, like, if you go read the Seventh Ecumenical Council, the bishops come at the request of the emperor and the empress. And they talk about the God-ordained emperor and the God-ordained empress. And the bishops and the priests lay out and formulate the theology of the council.